Gabyo, A Picture of a Rice Cake by Eihei Dogen. From Shobogenzo, The Treasury of the True Dharma Eye. Buddhas are the state of experience itself, and so things are the state of experience itself. But Buddhas and things are beyond a single essence and beyond a single state of mind. Although Buddhas and things are beyond a single essence and beyond a single state of mind, in the moment of experience, the experience of each, without hindering the other, is realized. And in the moment of realization, the real manifestation of each, without impinging on the other, is realized. This is the very state of the ancestral founders. We must not confuse intellectual speculation about unity and diversity with their power of learning in practice. Therefore, they say that barely to penetrate one Dharma is to penetrate myriad Dharmas. The penetration of one Dharma, which they describe, is not to rip away the features which one Dharma has so far retained, is not to make one Dharma relative to another, and is not to make one Dharma absolute. To make something absolute is to hinder it and be hindered by it. When penetration is freed from the hindrance of penetration, one instance of penetration is myriad instances of penetration. One instance of penetration is one Dharma, and penetration of one Dharma is penetration of myriad Dharmas. An eternal Buddha says, "A picture of a rice cake does not satisfy hunger." The patched-robed mountain monks from the present 10 directions who study this expression do not form uniform ranks of bodhisattvas and shravakas, beings with heads of gods and faces of demons, from other worlds in 10 directions, have skin and flesh, which are in some cases thick and in other cases thin. This expression is past Buddhas and present Buddhas learning of the truth. At the same time, it is a vigorous livelihood under a tree or in a thatched hut. For this reason, in order to transmit the authentic traditions of practice, some say that the practice of studying sutras and commentaries does not instill true wisdom, and so eternal Buddhas speak like this, and some have understood that eternal Buddhas speak like this to assert that philosophical study of the 3 vehicles and the one vehicle is never the way of Sambodhi. In general, those who understand that an expression like this exists to assert that abstract teaching is utterly useless are making a great mistake. they have not received the authentic transmission of the ancestral founders' virtuous conduct, and they are blind to the Buddhist patriarch's words. If they have not clarified this one saying, who could affirm that they have mastered the words of other Buddhas? Saying, a picture of a rice cake does not satisfy hunger, is like saying, the non-doing of wrong, the practice of the many kinds of right, or like saying, this is something having come like this, or like saying, I am always keen at this concrete place. For the present, let us learn the expression in practice like this. Few people have ever repeatedly looked at the words, a picture of a rice cake, and no one at all has recognized their full extent. How do I know it? In the past, when I tested 1 or 2 stinking skin bags, they were incapable of doubt and incapable of close association. They simply seemed uninterested, as if refusing to lend an ear to a neighbour's chatter. As to the meaning of picture cake, remember it includes the features that are born of parents, and it includes the features that exist before the parents are born. The very moment of the present in which picture cake is made into reality using rice flour is the moment in which the reality is realized, and the word is realized, though this realization is not necessarily a matter of appearance and non-appearance. We should not study it as being constrained by perceptions of leaving and coming. The reds and purples that form a picture of rice cake may be identical to the reds and purples that form a picture of mountains and water. In other words, in forming a picture of mountains and water, we use blue and red, and in forming a picture of picture cake, we use rice and flour. Thus, in both cases, the objects used are the same, and the forethought exerted is equal. Therefore, the meaning of the word picture cake, which I am speaking now, is that pastry cakes, vegetable cakes, dairy cakes, baked cakes, and millet cakes are all realized from the painting of a picture. Remember, pictures are in equilibrium, cakes are in equilibrium, and the Dharma is in equilibrium. For this reason, the many and various cakes that are being realized in the present are all picture cake. If we hope to find a picture of rice cake aside from this oneness of picture and cake, we will never encounter one at last. One has never exhibited itself. Picture cake at one time is manifest, and at one time is not manifest. Nevertheless, it is beyond the appearance of being old or young, and it is beyond the traces of leaving and coming. At such a concrete place, here and now, national lands of picture cake appear and are established. As to the meaning of do not satisfy hunger, hunger is not something operating through the 12 hours. At the same time, it is not predisposed to meeting with pictures of rice cake. Even when we taste a picture of rice cake, it has no effect of stopping hunger in the end. There is no rice cake that is dependent on hunger. It is because there are no rice cakes that are dependent upon rice cakes that the vigorous livelihood fails to be transmitted, and the traditional ways fail to be transmitted. Hunger is one staff. It is born horizontally and born vertically in 1,000 forms and 10,000 transformations. A rice cake, also, is one manifestation of the body and mind. It is blues, yellows, reds, and whites, and length and shortness, and squareness and roundness. When we now picture mountains and water, we picture them with blues, greens, reds, and purples, with oddly shaped crags and mysterious rocks, and with the 7 treasures and the 4 treasures. The work of picturing a rice cake is also like that. When we picture a human being, we use the 4 elements and 5 aggregates. When we picture the state of Buddha, not only do we use earthen niches and clods of soil, we also use the 32 signs. We use a stalk of grass, and we use countless hundreds of kalpas of instilled discipline. Because a picture of Buddha has always been drawn like this, all the Buddhas are picture Buddhas, and all picture Buddhas are Buddhas. We should examine picture Buddha and picture cake. We should painstakingly consider and investigate which side is a stony black turtle and which side an iron staff, which is the material reality and which is the mental reality. When considered like this, living and dying and coming and going is totally the painting of a picture. The supreme truth of Bodhi is just the painting of a picture. In summary, neither the Dharma world nor empty space is anything other than the painting of a picture. An eternal Buddha says, "When the truth is realized, the white snow in 1,000 sheets departs, and the blue mountains on numerous canvases come painted in a picture." This is the talk of great realization. It is the state of truth which has been realized through effort in pursuit of the truth. So in the very moment of attaining the truth, the blue mountains and the white snow are called numerous canvases. They have been painted in a picture. Every movement and every moment of stillness is nothing but the painting of a picture. Our effort in the present is solely derived from pictures. The 10 epithets and the 3 kinds of knowledge are a picture. The 5 faculties, 5 powers, 7 parts of the state of truth, and 8 right paths are a picture. If one says that pictures are unreal, then all the myriad dharmas are unreal. If all the myriad dharmas are unreal, then even the Buddha Dharma is unreal. If the Buddha Dharma is real, pictures of rice cakes must just be real. Great Master Kyoshin of Unmon, the story goes, is asked by a monk, "How are discussions that transcend the Buddhas and transcend the patriarchs?" The Master says, "Rice dumplings." We should quietly consider these words. In the state where rice dumplings are already being realized, there is an ancestral master holding discussion that transcends the Buddhas and transcends the patriarchs. There are men of iron who do not listen to it, and there should be students who grasp it in experience. And there is speech which is being realized. The present rice dumplings, exhibiting the facts and throwing themselves into the moment, are inevitably 2 or 3 pieces of picture cake. In them there is discussion that transcends the Buddhas and transcends the patriarchs, and there is the means to enter the state of Buddha and to enter the state of demons. My late master said, "The long bamboos and the banana plants have entered a picture." This expression is an expression in which a person who has transcended long and short is, in every instance, experiencing the study of painting a picture. The long bamboos means long-stemmed bamboos. They are the workings of yin and yang, and at the same time they make yin and yang work, wherein they experience years and months as the long bamboos. Those years and months of yin and yang are unfathomable. The great saints glimpse yin and yang, but the great saints cannot fathom yin and yang. Because yin and yang together is the Dharma in equilibrium, fathoming in equilibrium, and the state of truth in equilibrium. It is beyond the yin and the yang, which concern the minds and eyes of non-Buddhists and the 2 vehicles today. It is the yin and yang of the long bamboos. It is steps in the history of the long bamboos, and it is the world of the long bamboos. Remember, the heavens, the earth, and the cosmos are the roots, stems, twigs, and leaves of the long bamboos. Therefore, the long bamboos cause the heavens, the earth, and the cosmos to be everlasting. They cause the great ocean, Sumeru, and the whole universe in 10 directions to be substantial, and they cause staffs and bamboo rods to be at once old and not old. The banana plants have earth, water, fire, wind, and air, and mind, will, consciousness, and wisdom as their roots and stems, twigs and leaves, flowers and fruit, and light and colour. And so when they wear the autumn wind, and are broken by the autumn wind, not a single speck of dust remains, and they can be called pure and clean, there being no muscle and bone inside the eyes, and no glue or paste inside colours. Liberation exists at this very place. It is not constrained by fleetingness, and so is beyond discussion of muhurtas, kasanas, and so on. Through this power of liberation, earth, water, fire, and wind are made into a vigorous livelihood, and mind, will, consciousness, and wisdom are made into the great death. Thus, in this lineage of practice, we have received the practice by using spring and autumn, and winter and summer as tools. The total situation now of long bamboos and banana plants is a picture. Therefore, those who realize the great realization on hearing the voice of the bamboo, whether they are dragons or snakes, may be in the picture, which we should not doubtingly discuss with the sentimental consideration of the common and the sacred. That stalk is long like that. This stalk is short like this. This stalk is long like this. That stalk is short like that. Because these stalks are all in the picture, they always match their long or short representations. Where the long picture is present, short pictures are not lacking. We should clearly investigate this truth. Truly, because the whole universe and the whole of Dharma is the painting of a picture, human reality is realized from a picture, and Buddhist patriarchs are realized from a picture. In conclusion, then, there is no medicine to satisfy hunger other than a picture cake. There is no hunger that comes upon human beings other than picture hunger. and there is no power in any fulfillment other than picture fulfillment. In general, fulfillment in hunger, fulfillment in non-hunger, non-fulfillment of hunger, and non-fulfillment of non-hunger are all impossible and all inexpressible without the existence of picture hunger. For the present, let us learn in experience that this concrete reality here and now is picture cake. When we learn this principle in experience, we begin to master, throughout the body and mind, the virtue of changing things and being changed by things. Before this virtue manifests itself, the power of learning the truth has not been realized. Causing this virtue to be realized is the realization of experiencing a picture. Preached to the assembly at Kanondori Kosho Horinji Temple on the 5th day of the 11th lunar month in the 3rd year of Ninji.